Wow, so in this episode of Titans, we got Wonder Woman drops, obviously, because we had Donna Troy, Wonder Girl in this episode. But we had more Batman teasers, Justice League, Joker, and everything like that. And as I was hoping, we got a little bit more set up for the Trigon storyline with Rachel and her mother. So let's talk about the latest episode of Titans, Donna Troy. What is up, Titans? Welcome to a brand new weekly review and breakdown of the latest Titans episode. Now, this is for season 1, obviously, episode 8, titled Donna Troy. And yet again, guys, another delightful episode. I loved it, and I love this one in particular for its obvious Easter eggs to Batman, and as I mentioned in this intro, the Joker, Justice League. There was just so much cool stuff in that, naturally, because Donna Troy came in, and I just want to dive straight into this, because with her involvement in this episode, it was, you know, like the sidekicks of Batman and Wonder Woman, so there was a lot of great exploration with that. And obviously on the other side of things with the Titans, because Dick was away with Donna Troy, we had Starfire leading the group, and she ran into a bit of trouble, but we also learned a bit more about Trigon, although I was hoping a little bit more, but hopefully that is still to come. But anyway, let's talk about all of this, guys. So subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you're brand new to this channel, what I do is post Titans reviews every single week and stuff like that, and other nerdy geeky content. And of course, if you go on to enjoy this video, everyone, be sure to like it. It only takes a second of your time, and it really does help out more than you know. So of course, everyone, I'm going to get into the Wayne Manor flashbacks. I mean, was that a batarang that Dick Grayson or mini Dick Grayson sent at younger Donna Troy? It's definitely more of a cute batarang, if that even makes sense. It's not like the typical shape. It could have been something else. Maybe I'm having a brain fart here, but she was just like, oh, I've always wanted one of these. But what I loved about this scene, though, I really like the young Dick Grayson. First of all, the more I'm seeing Brenton Thwaites as Robin, I really see that younger kid, so that's great casting there. Same with the young Donna Troy, but she was just like, oh, I've always wanted one of these. And then they started talking about the Joker, and what I really loved about the acting from the mini Dick Grayson there is this is a little bit into his training. This picks up a little bit after, you know, Bruce gave him that letter saying, you know, revenge isn't the way, but let me show you the way. And obviously that was to start his Robin training. But the amazing thing about this is that somewhere just down the stairs from Wayne Manor into the Batcave or whatever was Wonder Woman and Batman talking about the Joker. But what I loved about that as well is that young Donna Troy was saying, you know, how Diana, Wonder Woman, was, you know, even found the Joker scary because what he's done, from what we could gather from this scene, is that he killed a lot of people. Bruce didn't even want mini Dick Grayson there, but young mini Dick Grayson went anyway to just kind of embrace what, you know, is actually out there, but he kind of regretted it. And I would just love to get a taste of what this Joker is like in this world. I don't know, I just found this whole mini sidekicks flashback really great. You could really see this almost turmoil that mini Dick Grayson was in already, highlighting what he feels like in the future from such a young age. He was just like, it's not fun, I just want to quit. And that's when we got that little pep talk from young Donna Troy saying, will the Joker quit? Like, so maybe like you shouldn't quit, because like people like that are never going to stop, and that's what you and Bruce do. And even mini Dick Grayson got turned around by that, even stating that Bruce is good at things, many things, as we all know, but he's not good at the pep talks. Bruce is like always often depicted as kind of socially awkward or not so intimate with, like, you know, kind of the loved ones in his life, if that makes sense. And what I also love about this episode, and I'll talk about this a little bit later, is you could really tell that with Dick Grayson. That's rubbed off on Dick Grayson with his small talk skills and everything like that. But yeah, love this scene. Would love to know what you guys thought about it. Now, the Titans at the beginning of this episode, at least, are still in Bruce's safe house. I really appreciate that scene with Beastboy and Raven talking about Dick and Corey and how, like, they view it like as their parents. And I've often said that they are kind of the parental figures of this Titans group, since, you know, Rachel and Gar are so young. Now, I really like that scene with Raven and her mother. I know they don't know each other, but they're getting off to a good start. They're, you know, they're very open to each other. It's not too awkward because they were taken from each other, kind of. Well, they did explain, or should I say, Rachel's mother explained how she's been locked away for 5 years. So I'm guessing before that, she was just on the run before the organization, if you will, found her. But we did get that explanation that I'll talk about a little bit later in this review about how how she has been away from Raven more or less her whole life because she gave her away to Melissa, Raven's mother, or at least who she thought was the mother. If you remember way back in episode 1, I believe that's when she got killed as well by that organization assassin, but we all know what happened to that guy. Now also in Bruce's safe house, we also had that scene where Dick and Corey were in bed together. They're obviously still like kind of a thing. They're not together, but this introduced the Corey flashbacks this episode. Ever since the asylum, it triggered a little bit of that deja vu-y, amnesia effect where she's getting things back, but it's not completely there. But that sets up or foreshadows the end of this episode, which I can't wait to talk about. But anyway, I want to talk about, first of all, how Dick and Corey are kind of like definitely becoming a thing, and that's not brand new in the world of DC Comics, but I kind of felt sorry for Corey because Dick definitely doesn't like Corey as much as Corey likes Dick Grayson. You can definitely tell she's a little bit sad. Like, she doesn't pour it out in her facial expressions or emotions or anything like that, but she definitely insinuates that she wants them to be more of a thing, but she's kind of waiting for him. Like, sure, she said that she needs to find out who she is and he needs to figure out who he's going to be, and I love that foreshadowing because, each episode we're getting a nice little paint splat of, yes, this guy's going to become Nightwing, but yeah, Corey's just patiently waiting for Dick Grayson to get his head out of his ass, I'm guessing. So it's going to be interesting to see when he figures out who he is in season 2. Are they actually going to be like a power couple in the Titans? Now, I want to cut straight into the Dick and Donna stuff this episode because I really love them together, and I just love Donna Troy. Now, I love the Man in the High Castle, and somebody pointed out to me in my comment section of last week's episode, this is where all we had was a trailer for Donna Troy, but they pointed out that she was in Man in High Castle, and I could barely recognize her for a second, but here she is. And what I love with what they've done, I know she doesn't look 100% like Wonder Woman, but to me, she really, really, really does. I mean, obviously she is Wonder Girl, but I don't know. I feel like she could be already this universe's or Titan's version of Wonder Woman, and I guess that is as close as we're going to get. I mean, just like the same as the Batman references and the Wonder Woman references, we're not really going to see them unless we're very lucky in an obscure blurred image in a Batcave, which we're still kind of hoping for in the Batcave. But one of the things I really appreciated is how they picked up the kind of chemistry the two younger versions, the two sidekicks, had at the beginning of the episode with each other straight into the present day. They really worked well together, Dick Grayson and Donna Troy. It was just hilarious when Dick Grayson was going into I think her art gallery, or it was like her photography gallery, and she said you need to get a little bit better with small talk. And this is what I mean with Batman has rubbed off on Dick Grayson, because I've explained this a billion times and how Batman isn't like the best person in terms of social stuff, or like if he does do stuff like that, he's completely putting on a mask. Often Bruce Wayne is the mask and not Batman, and I feel like the exact same thing applies to Dick Grayson here. But there was just this one scene where this guy was trying to talk to Dick Grayson, and he was just saying how Donna had a great right hook and how he just prefers analog to digital. And then as soon as that guy was gone, he wasn't just wondering about normal things. He was like, oh, I wonder what the Penguin's up to right now, which is just freaking hilarious, because I could just imagine that's what Bruce is like when he's at a social thing as the billionaire Bruce Wayne. He's probably just looking at a painting or at some fancy dinner, just like, man, I really wonder what the Joker's doing right now, Penguin. I should probably be out there. Now let's hop back over to the Titans in this episode, and this is where they're on the train. Now, I want to first talk about Rachel and her mother. I really like their relationship together. I feel like Rachel's mother, the way she's conveying her emotions, the actress, yet again, I forgot the name, I am sorry, but she's fantastic, and I don't feel like any of this is forced or unnatural. She hasn't seen her daughter in years and years and years and years. She had to sacrifice and give her away to her best friend, I think she was, Melissa, as we spoke about earlier. So I really got that raw, real, powerful vibe of like, imagine seeing your daughter and just trying to reconnect to her for the first time in years, and just knowing that she's safe, knowing, or for now at least, knowing that her friends, the Titans, have taken care of the organization, or should I say Trigon's followers, but we all know that's not going to work out so well. But anyway, this scene definitely explored a little bit more about Trigon. As I keep saying, they're leaving it a little bit late to like fully dive into that, or like we're only getting little drabs of that, so it does make me wonder, is he going to be like a season 2 villain as well, like with how what Black Lightning are doing and how Arrow have brought Ricardo Diaz from season 6 into season 7, even though he's not technically the main villain? But you get what I mean. Is this going to be like a continuation thing? Because all we got really from Rachel's mother is that, your dad was very charismatic. He noticed the power inside Rachel from a really young age and wanted to exploit it. He built up followers. But don't worry, he's gone a long time ago. You don't need to worry about that. He can't hurt you anymore, but we all know albeit that's probably true, we all know that somehow the followers are going to return and probably try and get Rachel to call her father, and that's all that needs to happen to get Trigon to return. It's obviously not going to end well. I'm also really glad that they addressed the whole Gar killing in the previous episode. If you remember when he was caged up and he went into tiger mode, I did actually say in my review, I wonder if, like, when he goes into tiger mode, he kind of gets a little bit engulfed by the instinctualness of being a tiger, plus being in control. And I was really happy that that is exactly more or less what Gar said. Now, albeit I found it fascinating that Starfire says that there's nothing wrong with defending yourself. He could have killed you, which I think personally is really fair enough. I know a lot of people have issues with killing in this episode, and I will actually discuss something like that, which made me a bit, But like, in terms of Gar killing and how so far they've kind of done a bit of killing, not all of it, I'm not proving all of it, but a lot of it has been self-defense. He could have killed you, kill or be killed situation. But then again, I know some people will argue that you could have knocked him out or something like that, right? So I'm just going to be paying very close attention to if Gar is going to keep killing now in tiger mode, or is he just going to try and be a little bit more gentle? Like, do you always have to kill when you can't? Because you could argue that Gar didn't have to kill that guy, but then again, they blew up that building. Now, this is the moment that I wanted to bring into it where there was actually killing, which I guess she technically didn't have to do, but then again, it was kind of kill or be killed. She was getting shot at, and she did obliterate all of them though. So I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments below. I often ask this like every other episode, but did you have an issue with this? The reason why I'm asking this is because some people are like, oh, they shouldn't kill, like that's not like the comics. But like, when you're trying to bring it to nitty gritty realism, when you're getting bullets at you that ping off the wall, that literally could have just gone in your head, I guess, like, to get out of that situation on that train, you would have to use the Starfire power. So I don't know. I'm personally okay with how it's going at the minute. The building thing was perhaps a bit unnecessary, but that did need to end. Those people were messed up. Now let's go temporarily back to Donna Troy. I liked how we saw how, you know, reason why she stopped being Wonder Girl. She didn't give it up, but she just kind of stopped it. We saw a peek into what Donna Troy could do and how she feels like she's doing good. Not as Wonder Girl, but perhaps arguably more good as Donna Troy, and how she was taking photos of that merchandise, if you will, which was basically like horrible poaching and stuff like that. There was even that freaking poor bear. That just really pisses me off. Like, I felt Donna Troy's anger in that moment. I thought that maybe she was gonna like do something with those guys and just take him out and liberate the bear or something like that. But then, you know, I quickly realized as they pointed it out that if she exposed those photographs, she could have stopped this whole thing, you know, up and down the country or something like that. Dick Grayson came in because in his mind, he doesn't, kind of like Batman, want a single bad guy out on the streets, regardless, even though her plan was more the smart long game. This was kind of like the hardwiring of, oh, bad guy, criminal, one less bad guy on the street, which I completely understand, even though it was unnecessary of Robin to do so. But going back to how I was talking about earlier, how Bruce Wayne is the mask and how I feel like he's rubbed that off on Dick Grayson, and how Dick Grayson, he is not necessarily the mask for him, you know, and Robin or Nightwing is the true him. But I feel like he's got like a split personality with that. Like, he's got a little bit of that from Bruce, but he's still got a lot more of Dick Grayson in him than Bruce Wayne has got Bruce Wayne in him, if that makes sense. And what I mean by this is that scene where Dick Grayson was talking to Donna Troy, and she was saying how, you know, when Diana took her in and filled that hole that the fire left in her life. So the contrast here is that Wonder Woman was born to protect the innocent, and Batman was created to punish the guilty, but they're not them. And this is all a part of Dick Grayson's journey into self-discovery. And, you know, that got set up, as I said, from the very beginning of this episode. Dick Grayson doesn't want to be Robin, but he can't not be something like Robin, or something like what he said to Corey in bed earlier on in the episode. So he's just trying to figure out how to still be something, but without being what Batman created him to be. And that, my friends, is Nightwing, and we will be getting that by the end of the season, and I can't freaking wait. But anyway, progressing on to the very end of the episode now, this is kind of in line with that scene. Donna Troy was looking at Dick Grayson's phone, and lo and behold, she saw those symbols. Now, she said that these symbols were offshoot Sumerian, and Dick Grayson was like, they're not Sumerian. She was like, I said offshoot, and this is where she realized, as they were on their way to the Titans again, and that is that some of these words could have a double meaning. So like, taking care of could mean to not take care of, and you kind of have to figure out which one is the case. And in the meantime, ever since the Titans escaped the whole train fiasco, they headed back to Rachel's mum's house, which has been abandoned for a long time. And this is actually pretty cool. Like, Rachel was like, oh, maybe I can heal what is going on with your head, because as we all know, Rachel's got extraordinary abilities to actually heal, and this was all happening at the same time. I loved how there was like Dick Grayson and Donna scenes like figuring it out, and then there was Rachel healing Corey, and we all knew that it might not go right, and as soon as she healed her head, we found out that Starfire's mission was to kill Rachel. Now, I totally get why Starfire's mission might have been that, because, you know, they figured out way back in Starfire's little garage where she was investigating Rachel that she might bring about the apocalypse or something like that, right? The end of times, because, you know, Trigon, she's Trigon's daughter, blah, 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 blah. So maybe her mission was out of necessity to prevent that from happening. You kind of have to kill this sweet girl who is Rachel, but also has to be the daughter of this freaking bastard demon. But hopefully, as we saw Rachel being like throttled and screaming at the end of the episode, we're gonna have this kind of crisis in the next episode, perhaps, of Starfire being like, oh, I remember who I am now and I need to kill you, but I've also, since losing my memory, formed this, you know, care for you. So she's going to be caught in between two personalities, and obviously she's not going to end up killing her. But other than that, guys, that is everything I have to say about this episode. I thought it was fantastic. Yet again, another great one. I know I'm saying that every week. I'm not saying that this is my favorite episode though, but I appreciated it in so many different ways. It was really fun. I thought Donna Troy was kick-ass. I really hope that she has more to do with the Titans, you know, in season 2 as well. Obviously, she's still in the car with Dick Grayson, so I still expect to see some bits of her maybe next episode or the episode after. We're going to have to wait and see there. But I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments below, guys. Dove is returning back next week. I can't wait to see more of her. We've also got the original Dove from Hawk and Dove, and I can't wait to see that. So we're going to get more flashbacks, I'm guessing. If you like this video, why not like it, subscribe for more Titans reviews and breakdowns and other nerdy, geeky content like this. But I'm going to have to say goodbye now, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you Titans in the next video. Goodbye.